The information provided on this show does not, and is not intended to, constitute legal advice. Instead, all information on this show is for general informational purposes only. The information provided is not a substitute for legal advice, and we recommend viewers consult an attorney for specific legal matters.
Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs here on our YouTube channel. Karen Curtis here, and I just want to thank you for joining us. Also remind you, please subscribe, like, hit the bell. It helps our channel grow. We really appreciate it. We have a guest today. He's Greg Waltz. We'll get to him in a moment, and you know Eric. But we also want to thank our sponsors like Greg, especially our fantastic sponsors who truly offer the best services in South Florida, including our diamond sponsor, Best Roofing. And Greg's with Assured Partners. We'll get to that in a moment. But again, I'm here with Eric. He's board certified by the Florida Bar in condominium and plan development law. And he has a law firm it's called Glazer and Sachs. They represent associations and owners across the state. So if you need help, he's the guy. And we're here each week to answer all your questions and calls and chat questions that makes life in your condominium absolutely crazy from 1 minute to the next, or HOA. The number to call, it's toll-free, 717-GLAZER-8 with a Z. That's 717-452-9378.
And, of course, as Karen alluded to, we're on the Condo Craze and HOAs YouTube channel. So if you have a question or comment, drop it in the box on the channel, and we'll answer it here on the show as well.
Absolutely. So also, if I want to follow the show on Facebook, Apple, Spotify, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Yeah, and hey, before we get going, I just want to thank everybody that showed up at the Condo Craze board certification class. This week we were in Miami, and everybody who showed up really had a lot of nice things to say about this show, and it was an honor meeting everybody. I had a lot of fun with all you guys. So here's to you, Miami. And again, it really was an honor and a pleasure. This week we will be in Orlando. Yeah, one more left. Yeah, Wednesday we'll be in Orlando. Still time to register. Last one for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, condocrazeandhoas.com. Well, it's been a crazy ride the last couple of weeks.
So
every week we're in a different city.
I know. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, it's been tiring.
You hadn't been doing Miami, and now you did.
And it was great.
And it was great.
Yes, and I had a lot of fun. Not only was it great, just everybody was so nice and kind and so many nice things to say about the show.
Yay!
A lot of fun.
Fantastic.
But this week we really have a special guest on the show. I got to tell you, he's making me feel a little old today because we're here with Gregory Waltz, Vice President at Assured Partners. Greg, welcome back to the show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And many of you may remember Greg's father, also Greg Sr., who used to appear on this show all the time and at our seminars. But we're doing this so long now that now we have Greg's son.
The keys have been handed over.
Yes, exactly. Well, Greg Jr., who's just as bright as your dad?
Try to be.
You try to be. Your dad is such a great guy. But funny story, I have an insurance question that I really need the answer to a couple of weeks ago. So I take out my phone, I go to my contacts, and I put, Greg Waltz in the contacts. And I call the number that's on there, and it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and his dad picks up from Colorado and says, "Eric, did you forget? I'm retired. Right? I'm in Colorado. And by the way, it's 6 o'clock in the morning." But you know what the guy did? The guy researched the question for me, emailed me the answer back in about an hour. So that's the kind of stock this guy comes from. Pretty amazing. Your dad is a great guy.
Appreciate it. I'll let him know.
And my regards. But let's get into the insurance matters here that's facing all Floridians. We all know you're really in the thick of it when it comes to helping Florida condo owners navigate what right now is one of the toughest markets in the country. Or is it? And what's insurance? And I want to start out with some new laws. It's interesting to me, quite frankly, regarding condo insurance. One big change is that the law used to say that condo board shall use its best efforts to obtain insurance. And I got to tell you, I practice in this area. I don't know what the hell best efforts mean. But finally, it was now changed, and the law says the boards shall. Now it shall obtain insurance. I'm glad to see it, but do your clients taking it as, yes, there's now an obligation to purchase it?
Most of them, yes, do,
Yes.
but we still have associations we run into that don't buy proper insurance, and they're running the risk. It's on them to get it, to buy it, and if they
Sure.
don't, and there's a claim they don't have coverage, that's where the problem starts.
There's no question that the statute to me makes it clear they have to do
They
it.
have to.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
And they owe a fiduciary duty to their owners
Right.
to obtain it.
Yeah.
And if a storm comes and blows away, a lot of things, causes a lot of damage, and there's no insurance there,
Mhm.
man, are people going to get pissed off? That's all I can tell you. And yeah, you're
Absolutely.
breaching your fiduciary duty if
But
you
more
don't do it.
companies have come in to the state now that
Correct.
there's less liability and less tort.
Yeah,
you
we've
know,
had a
tort
few years
reform.
without storms, so yeah,
Yeah, that helped.
that is
This year
certainly-
was, thank
Except on
God.
the West Coast.
On the West Coast.
West Coast has been through it.
Yeah.
And through it, and West Coast had it tough. But so now the new statute also says coverage can be based on the replacement cost of the property to be insured, as determined by an independent insurance appraisal every 3 years.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So here you are, you're a condo association.
Mhm.
How do they know when to do it? How to do it? Who do they contact? How does that generally work?
So usually for our clients, we remind them.
Okay.
It's on us because we need the appraisal, so we set reminders, usually 120 days out.
Okay,
to
so
remind
you
them.
can't get them a policy unless you have that appraisal. That
Yeah, it depends on the insurance company,
Right,
but
right.
we need our clients to follow the law, so we take that initiative.
Okay.
And we get them a quote, whether they take it from the vendor we selected, it doesn't matter to us as long as they get it
As
done.
long as they get it done.
That's the most important
And they got to
thing.
get it done.
Absolutely.
All right, let's focus on some other stuff. Some big questions that really every board needs to know. What should we expect? What should the associations expect when it's time to renew their policy now every year? How does
So,
that work?
This year and the past 12 to 15 months, we've been seeing rates come down, which has been huge. Most associations are seeing around a 10 to 15% decrease.
Good.
That's condos or associations where you're insuring the buildings, because we have a lot of
Right.
HOAs that they actually insure the buildings as well.
Gotcha, sure.
And that is primarily due to more companies coming in,
Yeah.
keeping the competition.
And citizens depopulating.
That is correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another big topic. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Karen, you alluded to this. Who are some of the other carriers that are now coming into the mold?
You have Slide, which has really become a citizens takeout company, and they're
Right.
now starting to write some new business.
Right.
Core, you have a company called Care.
I had one, I think mine was just changed to something called, like, I'm going to say this the wrong way.
Oh, this
Something
is
like
funny.
Topsy Turvy or something like that. What's it
Oh,
called?
Tip Tap.
Tip Tap.
Tip
Yeah,
Tap, yeah,
yeah.
Tip
I don't know what it is.
Tip Tap. Yeah, Tip Tap. They do personal insurance, but they
Okay.
are part of the same
Tip
company as
Tap.
Slide.
Okay,
Actually,
right.
yeah.
It hasn't gone up. That's what I
Slide.
do.
Well, there
know.
you go,
Yeah, it
yeah.
hasn't gone up, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Funny.
All right. Let's talk about one of the elephants in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this time of year, boards are opening their renewal packages.
Mhm.
They're holding their breath.
Yeah.
Right? Has it gone up? Is it gone up? Like health insurance has gone up.
Yeah.
Right over
Right.
the last couple of weeks, as we're seeing.
Right.
Talk to me about rates. Where are they?
They're
Where are
coming
they
down.
headed?
They're coming down. They're coming down, and they're probably
Wow.
going to continue to come down next year. We've almost gone through another hurricane
Right,
season
with
without
nothing.
a major storm. I know we've had some the past couple of years on the West Coast.
Right.
However, those hit non-populated, low population areas.
Right.
They skipped downtown Tampa, or downtown
Right, right.
Miami. So we've gotten by with that, and most of the renewals 10, 15, I've seen 40% decreases on some
You're
accounts.
kidding.
Yeah, and it's relative. Some of the accounts that got hit huge the past few years, and we were doing triple-digit decreases on some accounts.
Right.
Those accounts are seeing larger decreases now, just to keep them more relative and back to reality, really.
Okay.
Wow, that's fantastic news.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess you can now get more for your money too if you want a policy with a lesser deductible.
Yes, yeah.
Right, you get-
Things are changing. The deductibles are coming down. Before we were seeing 10%, 15% deductibles. Now they're back to 5%.
Right.
We've seen 3% being offered. So that has certainly helped. So it's more manageable, but it's going to continue to come down.
So the legislature did something right.
I don't know if it was entirely attributed to the legislature. It's no hurricanes in South Florida.
That's what does it.
That's really
Right,
what does
right.
it. And then these new companies coming in are driving kind of the rates down as well. So that's the
But they're
whole.
coming in because there's less lawsuits. right?
Yeah, that has
That's
helped.
true
That-
too.
that
Yes,
is- that
there's
is
been
true.
change in the
Yeah.
law.
That's
Yes,
why.
Yeah, that has
that's
helped.
right. That's
Yeah.
a great point,
Yeah,
Karen,
that's
because
why.
the law changed, and now when you sue your carrier,
Yeah.
you're not necessarily entitled to attorney's fees
Right.
any
Right.
longer when you settle.
That's right.
Right.
So because of that,
Less people are just
the-
firing off a
the
lawsuit.
Florida trial attorneys didn't
Mhm.
want that law to pass, but
Hey,
the
it helped.
legislature was thinking that if it does pass and the
Yeah.
insurance companies can't get sued as much, that there's going to be some competition in the market. They'll come in, and it looks like that's the truth, whether or not Florida
Yeah.
attorneys want to admit that or not.
And I think auto insurers are also offering home and condo insurance. No?
Yeah, right.
it-
That's an
it-
interesting question, right? I
Yeah.
always get that from I'm with Allstate. Bundle your policies with us.
Yeah.
Right? Is that really working out with any of the major carriers
No, I mean,
like Allstate,
no,
State Farm?
Farm's not doing it. There is Allstate does have their Florida program still, but I don't know. I heard they were non-renewing a lot on the personal side.
Right.
But yeah, those bundles. If you go online and try to do a quote, you put in your zip code, it's going to tell you.
It's going to tell you no. You
Really?
can't.
Oh,
Take a hike.
okay.
Yeah.
So how do you know, or do you know, when you get a letter in the mail saying you're now with this company?
Yeah.
Are they all the same? Are there some that
No.
are better than others?
No.
What should we be looking for?
Yeah, the Citizens Depopulation Program, and I'll just start by saying that Citizens, at the end of the day, doesn't want to write your insurance.
No.
Right.
They're here out of necessity, not because
Right.
there's a need for them, because
Right.
in previous years you couldn't get insurance from a lot of companies.
It's the state's go to
Yeah,
last
the market
chance.
of last
Yeah,
resort.
last
Yeah.
resort.
Yeah. So, but the past 2 years, there's been a depopulation program. Last year, you had companies like Core and Slide, even American Coastal, were taking some of that risk away from Citizens, and it's a
Right.
contract between Citizens and these insurance companies.
Right.
And really, how it works is you get a letter in the mail from Citizens. It says
Right.
you've been selected. Here's your renewal premium with Citizens, what it's going to be, and
Right.
here's the offer from the company we've chosen for you.
Right.
And as long as it's within 20%,
Right.
you have to take the
You
other
have
offer.
to take
You
the other-
have
gotta
to take
go.
the other offer.
So
And it
it's-
has been.
Yeah.
It's been better, but the thing that's going on is these insurance companies are making tons of money. So the state's making them pay back to the insurers.
Right.
The insured. Like I can't remember which company it was, but it was like they were making billions and everyone's going to get $300 back.
Yeah.
And more
Oh,
of them
really?
are going to have
Yeah.
to do
Yeah,
that.
that's great.
They're
Yeah.
making a killing.
Why not?
Yeah, but the depopulation is a good thing. The companies that are selected are all admitted. They're all backed by the state. They're
Right.
they're vetted.
Right.
And they also have to offer you a renewal. They have to guarantee a renewal
Oh, good.
for 3 years,
Right.
which is unheard
that's
of with
really good.
any other
Oh,
company.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, so now they got
As part of the Depop program,
Right.
when
Okay.
you go to American Coastal or Slide or
Right.
whoever, they have to renew you for 3 years.
Really?
You
At
know?
the same
Re-
rates?
No, there's no guarantee
No
on the
guarantee
rate.
rate, okay.
However, they're admitted, so their rates are regulated.
Okay.
And being that rates are coming down, your agent should be negotiating at renewal, because it's not a set in stone number.
That's important.
So we've had a lot of associations that have gotten the number, and then when it comes to renew,
Bait and
we've
switch.
been able to lower it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it'll never be more than what they
Right, but
promised.
that's- yeah,
but
that's-
it can be less.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's actually one of the things I wanted to ask you. If you're given a quote, right, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Is there any room to actually fight back and say, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? No, we're going to offer you X.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want to take it or not?
You can, but that has to happen before renewal, 60, 90 days before renewal.
Beforehand.
Yeah, and if there's been improvements in the building since then,
Right.
that'll lower the rate as well.
So are
great
you
to know.
locked in on the renewal as the condo or
You can change. You can.
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
change- okay.
You can still
just
shop.
the company is?
Yeah, that
Okay.
company is. If you do nothing, you're going to go to that company.
Okay.
But we may find a better deal elsewhere.
Ah,
So you're not obligated to take it
okay. I mean,
unless.
It used to be where there was just so much, I guess, your agent could do potentially when the market was really, really tough.
Yeah.
But you're telling me, no, that all changed. It
Yeah, that
really
all
may depend
changed.
upon the agent that you have.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if they have access to every insurance company, just because you get a depopulation offer doesn't mean you're necessarily going to stay with them. There could be a better offer out there.
And
You're
that's something you
definitely
could do.
You're definitely not going to be with Citizens,
Right.
but you'll be somewhere else.
Right. But that's something Assured can help people with.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's take our first break of the hour. keep your insurance calls coming in. Really great topic. And you have Greg here today who can answer any and all of your questions regarding this very, very important insurance topic. Give us a call, 717-452-9378. Again, 717-452-9378. Or drop us a question or comment in the chat box on YouTube. Back right after this.
In South Florida, the transition from bright sunshine to heavy rain and hurricanes can take a toll on your property's exterior and structural integrity. Cracked stucco, spalled concrete, they're more than eyesores. They can signal deeper issues. Now, with new Florida laws involving structural integrity requirements, we want to help you meet your milestone inspections and maintain the durability and beauty of your building. Since 2004, PD has been the trusted expert in structural concrete restoration, painting, and waterproofing for condominiums and commercial properties. Visit pd-concrete.com or call us today.
We are DMI Paving and Seal Coating, Florida's parking lot experts. We specialize in asphalt paving and repair, including pothole repair, seal coating using JC7 or polytar, concrete curbs, ramps, and walkways, and striping and pavement marking, as well as ADA compliance. We service commercial properties, including homeowners associations, apartment communities, shopping malls, warehouses, stadiums and arenas, and more. Experience is worth more than anything in an industry like ours, and our staff has decades of it. We have specialized equipment for any job, regardless of size, saving you time and money. DMI has a reputable history. We have been in business since 1956. We serve the state of Florida from 6 locations. Let us bid on your next parking lot project. Visit us online at dmipavingandsealcoating.com.
Welcome back to Condo Craze and HOAs here on our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell and like. It helps our channel. And the number to call if you want to ask Eric a question or if you want to ask Greg Waltz a question about insurance, the number is 717-GLAZER-8, 717-452-9378. And I just wanted to add, we were talking about Citizens, and if they give you another company that's within their 20% little window there, you can't stay with Citizens.
Correct.
Though.
Yeah, it's called eligibility. As long as that new offer is within 20% of Citizens premium, you have to leave.
Okay.
You cannot go back to Citizens.
Go to the board for a second. Doreen writes in, why does an agent need to be, in quote, released before you can get quotes from another agent? Is that true?
I think she's referring to the agent of record process, meaning that you can only have truly one agent work on your renewal. Because once an agent approaches a company and asks for a quote, that's the agent that can only work with that company. So, and you can't have multiple going to the same company.
So if you don't want to use the agent that you have and someone wants to switch to Assured, let's say.
You got to fire them and
they got to come to you right away.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, immediately.
Right. You got to fire your current agent is what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You can't work with 2 agents at the same time.
Correct.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yep.
You can't,
That is, I didn't know
in most situations there's competition for things. But no, here you won't really have that. You got to go to one agent.
It's called agent of record.
Agent of record.
Agent of record. And that's why we tell people, choose the agent that you trust, that you know has access to the companies that you want to get a quote from, and let them go and speak to the markets.
But you have several agents at your company, or is it just you?
No. We have a lot.
So they can. So it's your company that is your agent of record, not just.
Correct. It's truly it's the company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Vidal writes in and says, yes, rates came down. They seem very happy about it. Let's take our first call of the day. Who do we got?
All right, let's go to Michael.
Hey, Mike.
He's in Boone Beach.
Good morning. You all do a great job, and thank
Guarantee
you for doing
Boone
this
means Boyne.
I want to
What can you do about it?
Cameras
that catch people speeding. And
there are cameras that are.
Can they catch people speeding with cameras in their HOA?
I don't. I think there's a new statute that kind of like prohibits that now, because bottom line is, the camera can't testify in a court of law.
Right.
Right. So I don't think that alone in and of itself is to allow fining against someone for violating the speed limit. So no, I'm going with no, unless you have someone who can come in and testify that machine was calibrated.
Oh.
Right? That
yes.
I know it was that, and that's what it said on a certain date. No, I don't think it's anything that can hold up.
We intend.
Okay.
So
I'm going with no on that one.
He says the intends to what?
We intend to have them calibrated.
He's going to have them calibrated.
Well, I don't know if that's enough to get through if someone were to take it to court,
Yeah.
right? And you're an expert on the calibration. Did the person that did the calibrating, are they going to come in? If someone wants to challenge it, and that's why you're seeing a lot of the red light cameras
And the
in
school
Florida.
bus
They're basically
cameras.
gone. You can't
Yeah.
enforce any of that anymore.
It's hard.
So you know what though? Let's do this. I know we just took a break, but let's take a break. Let's take our bottom of the hour break, and then we'll keep going at the end. Keep the calls coming in. 717-452-9378. 717-452-9378, or drop us a question or comment in the chat box on YouTube. Back right after this.
There are very large management companies, and there are very small management companies. And I think Affinity sits somewhere in the middle of that, where they are big enough to provide you with all of the back of the house services, the accounting, the infrastructure, the support systems, but small enough to be high touch.
We believe at Affinity that we do the 9 to 5 so that you don't have to do that.
Welcome back. It's actually the second half of Condo Craze and HOAs, but we had to take an earlier break because Eric couldn't hear because his batteries.
The batteries ran out. That's what it was. Okay, no problem.
Now we can hear your calls.
I hear you too loud.
Really? Oh, dear. 717 Glazer 8. That's 717-452-9378.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go back to the phones. Who do we got?
Okay, let's go to John.
Hey, John.
From Danger Beach. That's probably
Dane.
Deerfield.
Yes, it's freaking AI.
Or Delray. Delray?
I'm going with Dania.
Dania.
Hello?
Hey, John. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Eric, Karen, and Greg. Great information. Thank you for keeping us updated on the insurance world.
Sure.
Eric, I just want to back up on something we discussed before, so don't get mad at me, but I'm not going to ask you about the EV.
Oh, it is.
With regard to meetings, and again, we, properly notice meeting, we hold the meeting, they go through the agenda. 9 hours later, we finally come to the end because they wasted so much time. Motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Open session. So now we've got the room full of people. We're discussing HOA business sitting there. We have 7 members.
Yep.
So they've effectively started another meeting,
Right.
which they have not noticed in violation of provisions of 720.
Mm-hmm.
What if 4 of those board members leave the room? There's no longer a quorum. How does that affect that equation?
So if the 7 members of the board are there, meeting ends, right? It's adjourned. Everybody votes in favor of it. The meeting should stop.
Right.
And bottom line, it should be over. And now the 7 people are still there. They're talking shop. Shouldn't happen. Again, like I said, we adjourned. And if 4 left and there's 3 left, I wouldn't have a problem with anybody talking about anything because there's no longer a quorum of the board there. But if there's still a quorum of a board, then yeah, the meeting's still open technically. Or I should say it should be an open meeting. It should never have adjourned if you're still going to talk about stuff.
It's not a new meeting.
Yeah. Like I say, in effect, they've started another meeting, so
Right.
we have to go through the requirements,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, if you wanted
Okay.
to continue to talk about stuff, you shouldn't have adjourned the first meeting. Why didn't you keep it
Exactly.
open, right?
That's what I thought. Thank you, sir.
You got it. Thanks, John. Who else we
All
got?
right. Great show, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, next caller. I don't recognize the name, so when you get on, you hear the beep, you're live.
Good morning. Who do we got?
Yalam?
Hello?
Yeah, Yalam?
Good morning. I know this guy. How are you?
I'm good, Baruch Hashem. How are you?
I am great. What's going on? What's your question, sir?
Can you hear me okay?
I certainly can.
Okay. Hi, good morning to you. And
Morning.
we're watching the show too, me and Eileen. And I see that your guest, do I have the right name? Waltz?
Yes.
Waltz?
That's
Yes.
right.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. I'm Eric's brother-in-law, by the way.
That's
Oh, okay.
calling from a condo
no
in New
kidding.
Jersey, as a matter of fact,
I-
where rates
Right,
are
so I heard-
ballooning. The rates are
Ah.
just keep going up in New Jersey. It's
Wow.
out of control. And why do I get the feeling the same thing's going to happen in New York City now? Things are going to start flying up. Why do I think so?
Possibly.
Anyway, that's for another
Well,
show.
Anyway, I heard Mr. Waltz say a few things and got my interest. Okay. I live in New Jersey, Mr. Waltz, in a condominium. It's a development of 10 buildings. Each
Okay.
building has 3 floors. You know, it's a three-floor building, 10 buildings. And now the association is going to have a meeting coming up in about 2 weeks. And I already know the HOAs are going to go up because they claim the insurance went up,
Mm-hmm.
which I can understand. But what I want to know, what are you? In other words, what you said, is it restricted only to the state of Florida, or it could be anywhere in the nation?
Are you,
What you said
you talking about?
regarding insurance?
Well, rates particularly in Florida are coming down. I don't know the specifics of New Jersey,
Right.
unfortunately, but
Yeah, this is the free state of Florida.
Yes, exactly.
You're in New
Yeah.
Jersey.
We do things normal here,
Yeah.
But-
Mr. Greta.
but we have offices in New Jersey and New York.
Oh, you
so-
do?
so- oh
Beautiful.
yeah. So
That's
so,
great
You
to
do?
know.
Yeah, so shoot me an email and I can put you in touch with somebody and see what's
Awesome.
going on. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great.
Always
Yeah.
happy to-
He lives in a beautiful condo in Jersey.
Even another bit of information. What we were told by the association, that there, no kidding, they claim that there are maybe no more than 3 insurance companies willing to write the insurance for us here. Which I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Is that
that's
possible?
exactly what's been here. As a matter of fact, what happened here over the years is that there's basically
Right.
been no carriers that wanted to write policies,
Yeah.
and you wound up being
Really?
insured by the state. The state company is called Citizens. The government actually took over the writing of policy. You can explain it much better than I can. Yeah.
I mean, there was always companies writing, but it got significantly more
Yes.
difficult to find a good placement. So a lot of associations went to Citizens, but New Jersey, I mean, depends on how old your building is,
Right.
the roofs, and all, if it's sprinklered. That's more important up there than hurricanes,
Right,
obviously.
right.
So, but yeah,
The development I'm in was built in 2006.
oh, so it's relatively new.
Not
then.
even old, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's odd that
2006.
there would only be 3 insurance companies that you can get a quote from. But yeah,
Yeah.
shoot me an email and we'll put
but-
you in touch.
But in respect to what Eric said a moment ago about the, look, I don't know if I'm being silly in what I'm about to say. The climate situation in Florida is worse than New Jersey, if I'm on the right track. meaning
Yeah, true.
with
We face hurricanes here. You
So-
don't.
Right.
Right?
Well,
Okay.
Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy. right.
But the good news for you guys is saying insurance are coming down.
Yeah, you would think.
Why wouldn't they go down?
well,
in New Jersey?
Right. Why
Well,
would
remember,
we go down in
it's
Jersey?
it's
yeah.
coming down, but we still have the highest rates in the country.
Right.
So-
Oh, we love that.
So
Right,
keep that in mind.
exactly.
Keep that in
Right,
mind.
right,
you
right.
know?
Yeah, it's funny how
sounds
things
good.
work.
What,
right?
what may be high in New Jersey could be the deal of a century in Florida.
Right.
You know?
A house in New Jersey, you can insure it, right? With,
Yeah.
for what, $1,000,
Right.
right? Here,
It's
it's 10,000.
$7,000, 10,000, yeah.
Right. Exactly. So things are relative. But hey, Mr. G, thank you so much for the call. Much
Yeah, wait,
appreciated.
just one more thing. I would love
He
to
wasn't
have
family,
Mr.
he'd
Walt's
be-
information, if that would be possible.
Well, you know what? Let's do it now.
You know,
I didn't. What did you say?
You know,
let's
We need your
How about
information.
tell everybody your information
sure. Yeah.
right now?
Yeah. My
How to email you.
Yeah, my email is just my first name, Gregory.Waltz, WALTZ, @ assuredpartners.com.
Let's do it one more time, please.
And
also
it's
up on the
at the
screen.
screen.
Oh, it's also up on the
Yeah.
screen.
Okay, so it's Gregory.Waltz at assuredpartners.com.
Right, and is there ever anybody
I
I can
got it.
stand by? It's this guy and his dad who I know
I didn't know
for how
you
many
had, so
years
you
now.
have it all over the country?
Oh yeah, yeah, and the UK, London, yeah.
Oh
Thank you.
my goodness.
Thanks for the
Okay.
call, Mr. G. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Mr.
Thanks.
Waltz.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Glazer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, all of you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes,
Who else
you
we
too.
got?
Okay, let's go to Armando.
In the Keys.
Nice.
Armando in the Keys. How are you, Armando?
Good morning, Eric, Karen, and Mr. Waltz, as he refers to. My question is now about insurance. We did get some minor information. My question has to do with DBPR.
Oh.
There's a case that went to the general counsel
Yes.
that I filed. Is there an email address to the general counsel or his office so I can ask its status?
No, not that I know of, because when you say the general counsel's office, it could be any one of different attorneys that work at that general counsel's office. So there's not like one specific email, and I'm not going to give out any specific attorney's email address on the air that works for the general counsel's office. I would just call the DBPR, find out if you can what specific general counsel has been assigned to your specific matter.
Do you have a case
And
number?
then, yeah, and give them the case number, like you said.
Yeah.
And they should be able to tell you that way. Now, for associations that are listening out there, you raise an interesting point. A lot of associations hear that a matter has been referred to general counsel with the DBPR and freak out, and they think the world's coming to an end now and the DBPR is going to come down on them. It does not necessarily mean that. If your case gets referred to general counsel, it does not mean you've already been found guilty and the guillotine is coming for you. It just means
Yes,
it was
but lawyers are
referred
involved
to-
now,
You're-
so
that's true, but
scary.
it doesn't necessarily mean it's all bad.
All
Okay,
right.
Armando, thank you for the call. Keep it going, Greg.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
All right, next caller looks like Lee from St. Pete.
How are you, Lee?
Could be wrong. Let us know.
Hi there. Yes,
Good.
this is Lee.
Hi.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you.
I have what I think should be a quick question for you.
Sure.
I'm in a multi-story condominium complex in St. Pete Beach. We were affected by Hurricane Helene and flooding. We have one homeowner that keeps saying that moving forward, the association does not need to get a master flood policy, that all the first floor homeowners should pay for their own. Is it mandated because we are within, a couple of football fields away from water sources, that the association actually has to provide a master flood policy, which we as owners pay for in our monthly dues?
Yeah, if you're in a high hazard flood zone, you're required to have flood insurance. Mortgage lenders will require it, so you won't be able to buy or sell a home unless it's cash without it.
What the hell?
So the association needs to buy it as long as you're in that high hazard
But
flood
there's a
zone.
national flood insurance.
Yeah, the NFIP. Yeah,
Right.
through FEMA.
So
yeah.
you got to buy that if you're the association.
Correct.
Why would you
Yep.
not?
You can't force it on the people who live on the first floor to get it.
No, if
it's
it's-
like the joke we always make. I don't want to contribute towards the elevator because
Right.
I live on the first floor.
Right.
Right. I don't use it.
Right.
So that's a
Yeah.
kind of a ridiculous argument.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is,
Okay.
yes, the
Yeah.
association has to pay for it.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, because this owner keeps saying she's read statute 718 and it says that the association does not have to pay for flood insurance.
Ugh.
And I keep telling her that because we are in a hurricane category, flooding category elevation, that may apply in places in Florida that are inland, but certainly not St. Pete Beach.
Okay.
And she's constantly arguing with me.
So I guess what that owner is referring to is the statute does not use the word specifically
Right.
flood insurance.
Oh.
It doesn't use the word hurricane insurance either.
Correct.
Okay.
Right? It says, adequate insurance to
Okay.
Right.
to protect you against any hazardous conditions that may happen.
But if you don't get that flood insurance policy for the association, everybody's going to have their insurance force placed.
And then it
Because-
becomes
What
expensive.
does that mean?
That means that the lender or the mortgage company purchases
Oh,
insurance for you, and it's
okay.
usually 10 times the cost. I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't make any sense to allow that to happen, because then you're going to have
Either
owners.
way, you will get flood
Yeah,
insurance.
yeah, whether you like it or not, you're going to get it.
This is an interesting question that Renee writes in. I'm just curious if you ever come into this type of situation. Will insurance premiums go up when the board members decide to change and allow Airbnbs on the complex? When a community becomes totally, rental or, very, very transient?
Yeah,
Is it something that the insurance companies find out about and can it hurt you?
They can find out about it, and it can hurt you. Some insurance companies do not allow Airbnbs. So
Really?
there are some that do, though.
Right.
So you would probably get either canceled or non-renewed if they found out, and then you have to be placed with a different
Do
carrier.
you have to tell them?
I mean, they ask if they're
Oh, they
short-term
do.
rentals. Yeah, it's on every application. So
Okay.
as long as your agent tells the truth,
Right, right.
right, and the board signs off on it. So yeah, you need to be disclosing that information.
Is there a percentage of the complex that if it's like one or two units, does that matter as opposed to like 50%?
They usually want to see 50% or less, but it depends on the insurance company, to be honest. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, back to the phones.
All right. Next caller is Jonah.
How are you, Jonah?
Joanna.
Hi.
Joanna, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Joanna. How are
I'm
you?
trying to decide what is the difference between association and condominium.
I don't know what your question is. Okay, so an
Okay,
associate. Hold on.
relative to
Okay,
parking,
hold on.
I'll tell you the situation. The situation is that the board raised the parking for a second car
Okay.
from $50 to $180.
Okay.
So I'm reading in my documents here.
Was that a month?
Yes, a month.
He's going to read the documents.
Don't read the documents. Do not read the documents on
don't-
the air. We don't allow that.
Now I remember you once said that.
One said it. We say it every week. Absolutely.
Right.
Okay, but you asked the
But,
question, what's the
when-
difference
in
between
any-
a
in
condo?
any
Okay, wait,
document-
turn her
any
down. Turn her
condominium
down, Greg.
document-
Turn her down. Turn her down. Okay. So the question is, what is the difference between a condominium and an association? When you say
Right.
condominium, the condominium is actually like the building or the property itself, right? And what makes it a condominium
Right.
is when you record a declaration of condominium. You're saying that this property is subject to the condominium form of ownership. An association is the corporate entity, right? The corporation that's placed in charge of running that condominium, if that makes sense. Okay? That's the
Yes,
difference between an
yes.
association and a condominium.
So in any documents, association would be the board or the,
The association, can you think about it as the board? Yes. That might be an easier way for you to think about it. The board is basically managing the association. The board has been elected by the members to serve as the board of
Right.
directors of the association. Okay?
right. But in a case like this, it's like totally arbitrary.
I don't know what your governing documents say. Can't let you read them, but you asked me to tell you the difference. I told you the difference. Okay? Thank you so much for calling in.
Got it.
All
Thank
right,
you so
thank
much.
you.
I
Okay.
appreciate
You
that.
got it. Back to the
I
phone.
got
Joe.
it.
Okay.
Over to David in Tampa.
Hi, Dave.
Hi there. I remember you talking about in some of the classes here in Tampa Bay that you have to determine the number of board members prior to, I can't remember if it was prior to, if the bylaws call for 3 to 5 members,
Okay.
it must be an odd number. Does the present board have to set the number before the vote? Or
Okay.
if only 3 members declare that they're going to run for the board, is that all you have?
Okay, so when condominium documents say that there's a range of directors, like no less than 3, no more than 7, something like that, right? There's a range, no less than X,
Right.
no more than Y. If your documents don't tell you, how do you go about choosing what number it should be? Do the unit owners decide? Do the board members decide? If the board members decide, when do they decide? If you're really looking at this paragraph and you can't discern from looking at that paragraph, how do we decide what the number is? then the number is automatically set at 5. And there's a whole bunch of cases that actually say that. The fallback provision under the Florida statutes is 5. So again, when you can't really discern from the documents what the number should be, but it gives you a range, the number is automatically 5. Okay?
Okay. So if only 3 declare prior to the vote, they have to declare that you're going to run or whatever,
Okay.
then you will have to add on 2 more later.
That's correct. Those three are automatically on the board. And if we're going with the proposition that it's supposed to be 5, then those 3 fill the 2 vacancies.
But what if
So-
the board
They
was
have
5
to
before
go
that?
on
Wouldn't the
board
2
or they
roll over?
No, not necessarily. No, because these people submitted their names.
Oh, okay.
The other 2 did not. So we have 3 people running for 5 spots, so to speak. Those people are the 3. Those people
Okay.
get on. Those 3 fill the 2 vacancies. Okay? Let's
All right,
do this.
thank you.
You got it. Let's do this. Let's take our final break of the hour. Keep the calls coming in for Greg. 717-452-9378. 717-452-9378. Or drop us a question or comment in the chat box on YouTube. Do not wait for the last second. Every show ends. We got like 6, 7 people on hold. Don't let that happen today. Okay? Back right after this.
For mitigation after a catastrophic event, building restoration, repair and remediation consulting, or Senate Bill 4D inspections, please visit rimkiss.com.
All over the world, people have plumbing problems. These problems can be expensive and destructive to fix. Have you ever wondered if there was a way to take care of your plumbing problems without destruction and an outrageous price tag? Welcome to Pipelining Technologies, Inc., where we specialize in fixing your problems without demolition and minimum cutting by means of pipelining. Pipelining is the ability to take a pipe damaged by root intrusion or long-term deterioration and make it new. By means of inserting an epoxy-saturated liner into the pipe and allowing it to harden or cure, leaving behind a brand new pipe.
That sounds great. How can I get pipelining in my home, commercial building, or condominium?
Simply fill out our online contact form and a pipelining representative will get in touch with you in a timely fashion, or call us directly at 561-853-5463.
Okay. Back.
Welcome back.
Bunch of calls for Greg. Let's try to do this as fast as we can because I see they're lined up with a whole bunch of insurance questions. Let's take the first one. Who do we got, Rob?
Over to David in Miami Beach.
How are you, David?
Good. So good. How are you?
Okay.
I actually appreciate you taking my call.
Sure
The
thing.
reason that I was calling in was to try and get clarification regarding the adequacy of wind coverage that's required under the new law. Because it says that we need to have adequate wind coverage, but it doesn't really specify or detail what that means.
Right. Well,
And
it should be based on replacement coverage and based upon your appraisal, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you explain that?
Yeah, that's the reason you get this appraisal done every 3 years is to make sure you're insuring your building to 100% of its value. So you should be insuring your building to 100% of your value. If it's not, then again, you're going to have issues with mortgage lenders because lenders will not lend to you if your building is not up to 100% value.
Right. Okay.
Does it speak to like a certain deductible amount or anything of that nature?
That depends on the
usually
lender.
Also define.
Yeah, and I know Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac don't allow any hurricane deductible above 5%. So 5% is kind of the highest they'll allow. But it depends on your lender. It really depends on the lender. But 5% is kind of the general rule.
Yeah, but I guess it's pretty interesting. And I'm looking at the statute. We have the statute up on the screen right now. Nowhere does it actually say what type of insurance is required, right? Well, they just the statute keeps using the term adequate insurance. Adequate insurance. How is adequate insurance determined? It's determined by an appraisal. But it doesn't specifically say you shall have wind coverage. But if we're in Florida, I can't imagine that adequate insurance is adequate if you don't have wind.
Right. It's up for interpretation, I guess. But I mean, you can't get a loan without it. And if something happens, they're going to be pointing fingers at the board.
Right.
Which you don't want to happen.
So to be clear, somebody goes to buy a condominium unit in any condominium here in Florida, especially high-rise condominiums, right? The lender's no chance are they lending unless they see that there's a wind policy.
Yes.
A simple question.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Wind is required, like it or not.
And flood.
Yeah. And flood.
Right.
If you're in a flood zone,
if
if
you're
the
in a
condo is in a flood zone.
high hazard flood zone.
High hazard
Oh,
flood
high
zone.
hazard.
Because everybody's in a flood zone in Florida.
Right.
But there's only high hazard zones is the only one that require you to have the coverage.
Got it.
That's
Got
interesting.
it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Back to the phones, Ro.
Great. Let's go to Joel.
Morning, Joel.
Oh, this is Joe from Boca. What is an insurance exchange?
So I think you're referring to like a condominium insurance exchange. So it's, for lack of a better word, in two of the, actually there's a couple takeout companies that are insurance exchanges. And it's basically, as a policyholder, you're part of a group of other policyholders that form this insurance company. And it is really the director of this company is an attorney that they've designated, and you're all kind of buying into this pool of insurance. It's admitted, they're backed by the state, same as any other standard carrier would be. If they go out of business, the state will come in with FIGA and pay $250,000, per unit, which is the statutory amount for any claim if they go out of business. But it's a pool of policyholders is what it really is.
Gotcha.
Is it cheaper to buy from an insurance exchange than a regular company?
There's no really difference from as far as buying goes. The rates are regulated just like any other company would be in Florida.
Thanks for the call, Joel. We're going to keep it going.
Thank you very much.
You
My
got
pleasure.
it. Only a few minutes left. Next caller.
All right, let's go to Aventura. I don't have a name.
Good morning, Aventura.
Fine. Thank you for accepting the call and providing knowledge to our society.
Our pleasure.
Couple of questions I have. One is, a couple of years ago, we were unable to find insurance for the condominium. When do we keep on asking for our agent that he sells us other insurance for wind and fire insurance? And then second question is about boards. If someone has multiple units in a condominium, do we need to mail a few different letters to each unit or one? Do we need to send it certified or regular mail?
Okay, yeah, the answer is just because somebody has one unit and if the statute requires you to send it out to all unit owners, then yeah, you have to send it out. For however many units that person owns, that's how many times you have to send it out. That works a little bit in reverse. If you own a condominium, if you own several condominium units, when it's time to vote, you can only if you want to, you could just submit one vote, and that one vote will apply to all your units.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but when it's time to vote in the election, but yes, you have to send it out for as many units as that person owns. I'm sorry. Back to the insurance question. I'm not sure what the question was.
Can you repeat that one more time? You said you had some issue getting insurance. Were you able to secure coverage finally, or no?
Unable to secure coverage as of a couple of years ago, and every concern is a certified or regular mail for votes. I guess regular mail.
For votes.
Are you saying for when people have to send it back to the association? I'm not sure of the question. Wait, hold up. We're bouncing all over the place. What was your insurance question for Greg?
A couple of years ago, we were unable to insure our building, and we tried it several months later, unable to find insurance. My understanding, we must have insurance. So if we cannot do anything about it. After how long does the board have responsibility to fish for another insurance, to ask, can
Yeah, I mean, you
insure
should
now.
be continually trying to find coverage if you've had a lapse in coverage for 2-3 years. Did they tell you the reason why can't you
That's what I wanna know, right.
get coverage? Are you doing some major concrete restoration? Because even then, there's always somebody that'll sell you a policy. It's just a matter of the cost at that point. If the building is in bad shape or the roof is, original, might need some more detail on that.
I do not have detail. I clearly remember it was not construction or roof. I believe it was not available in the market at the time.
Well, if that was 3
Or
years
that
ago,
building.
the market has gotten significantly better since then. So I would definitely suggest, either calling me. I can certainly look into it if you're on the board, or if you can put the board in touch with me, and I'm happy to talk to them, see what we can find.
Your father has gotten, over the years, people out of situations just like that where they found
Yeah.
they couldn't get insurance.
Yeah.
Called your dad was able to pull
Yeah,
them through.
yeah,
I have a
we
question
do it all the
about
time.
insurance being the guardrails for safety of a building,
Mhm.
and you can't insure unless. How is it that like a Surfside building was able to be insured?
Well, they were insured for half of what they should have been insured for.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the insurance company should have been more on top of that, right? Or that's not their fault.
They should have been.
They were told something. That's
Well-
right. That guy said it was okay, right?
Yeah, well,
That was
That-
kind of the
that-
catalyst as well
Right.
that changed the entire landscape.
so
down
my
there.
guess was there wasn't an updated appraisal,
There you go.
right? I mean,
There was an
'Cause
appraisal.
if all
but
that
it was,
work had to be done,
there-
and they knew it.
There was an appraisal, but I believe it was dramatically undervalued.
really?
And the crackdown on appraisals really started after that.
Okay, so let's say somebody comes out to do the appraisal.
Mhm.
How does the insurance company know? Let's talk about
Yeah.
a situation like
Yeah.
that. So how does the insurance company know that, wow, this building is in dangerous condition?
Mhm.
There's no way we can offer a policy on that. How do they find out that the condition of your building?
Or the Sears, if they see
So,
the
yes,
Sears.
yes.
Yeah,
now, sure.
after the policy gets the issue is insurance companies are not inspecting buildings before the policy gets written. They
Okay.
inspect them after
After the
the
fact.
policy gets written,
Wow.
because they don't have the resources to inspect on every single quote they release.
Wow.
Because they quote on things they're never going to write, so there's just a waste of time for everybody.
I see.
Right.
I see.
Yeah,
Right.
so they focus on the ones they have written. There's a right to inspect, but a lot of insurance companies don't inspect.
Really?
But if you've
after.
got a Sears report right there, you're going to look at
Oh
that.
yeah.
Now it's a little easier for insurance companies,
Yeah,
right?
now you can kind of get the story
Good
before
point,
the
Karen.
policy
Yeah,
renews.
yeah, great point,
But-
Karen.
So it seemed like it would have been a guardrail if they were able to inspect before they insured. They go,
Yeah.
you have a major problem with your
Absolutely.
Right,
building.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
milestone inspection reports,
Correct.
I'm
How
sure
are
they
you
look at.
insuring this
Yeah,
building?
yeah, and
Sure.
even the appraisal. Sometimes we turn in an appraisal, and the insurance company says thanks, but this is too low.
Right.
We're going to give our own value.
Yeah, on Karen's point, that's a great, really interesting question. So are the insurance companies requesting copies of your milestone
Yes.
inspection reports, your
Good.
certification
Yes.
reports? So if you don't do them, and you want to be lazy about it for whatever reason, you may not be getting insurance.
There you go.
Some deny it. Some want to see that you have a contract in place with a timeline for completion. It depends on the severity.
Right,
You know, if it's a
right.
couple $100,000, it's not a big deal. But it's
Right.
if it's $5 million restoration, that could be a problem.
Wow, okay,
But
interesting.
But there is.
Can't blame them.
Yeah.
Can't blame 'em.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
But now they know.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, they know. So it's something they ask for.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Back to the
Before
problems,
they
Rob.
insure you?
Before.
Okay.
Before. Yes.
Really quick on the time we got left.
All right, let's go to Catherine.
How are you, Catherine?
Hero. Hello, Catherine Daly.
Catherine, how are you?
Or Kate.
Catherine, Kate, whoever hears us, you're next. Bueller.
All right, one of the next.
Who else we got?
Looks like over to Delray, Joseph.
Joseph, good morning.
Yes, good morning, good morning. Actually, I texted in my question, but now I'm on the air, I'll ask it. What is considered an old roof? Our condominium complex is asphalt shingle roofs, and there's always this kind of a hidden question is, what do they consider old? We have roofs that are replaced, and the roofer gives us a certain amount of years warranty. However, what is the industry, or is it by individual company? What do they consider an old roof?
That's a
Yeah.
very interesting question.
I know it's such a tough question, but
Yeah.
but the easy answer is asphalt shingles typically 15 years. However, we have accounts that are past the 15-year mark and are still insurable because they've been maintained, the roof is in good shape.
Right.
So a lot of it has to do with condition of your
Right.
specific roof. But 15 years generally is what you get for asphalt.
Anything different when it comes to barrel tile?
Barrel tile usually is 25 years.
Well, that's why they're not giving me a hard time.
But I have accounts that have a 30, 35-year-old
I'm
barrel
at
tile
right now,
roof,
yeah.
and they're
but
still
you've
good.
maintained
I
them.
maintained
they've
it like
maintained
crazy.
them.
Yeah,
But
every year.
But if they inspect and they see cracked tiles, that's going to put some red flags. So just make sure you maintain your roof.
Interesting question.
So
Okay.
Kate in Vero Beach was going to ask you about flood
Yeah,
zones. Oh, I'm
um,
sorry.
Is that her right there?
No, I'm sorry. I'm
No.
Go
sorry,
ahead,
Karen.
Joseph.
No, I just wanted to add, your answer is valuable to me as a board member because we like to have some kind of a barometer or guideline as it pertains to our budget, as to our roofing reserve fund, as when we should be replacing our roofs.
Yeah.
So that's why yes, it's to us it's an important answer. I
Yep.
appreciate that.
Sure, yeah. It also helps that the market is trending down as far as rates. So insurance companies have become a little bit more lenient because they don't want to lose the business to another carrier that's going to write it. So
Gotcha.
they will stay on it. At times when rates are coming up, and we've had hurricanes, there will be a lot more strict on older roofs.
Hey, we're going to run a few minutes later today, if you don't mind, okay?
Yeah.
Because the calls will keep coming
Thank
in.
you, Eric.
You
you're
got
an
it.
ace.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted
Yeah.
to, you mentioned high hazard zone. Because
Yes.
Kate was asking about.
saw that,
She's
yeah.
an A and E. So what?
Yeah, an AE zone is a high hazard
Okay, there you
zone.
go.
Yeah. If you're in an X zone,
Flood zone.
that's low
Yeah.
hazard, yeah.
I
Then
want
you must insure.
Sorry, I apologize, Karen. I didn't mean to talk over you. Just want to talk really quick about deductibles, okay? The statute says when determining the adequate amount of property insurance coverage, the association may consider deductibles as determined by this subsection. I think the board gets to choose what the deductibles are going to be for the community, basically.
Yeah.
Talk to me about deductibles because a lot of people get the term deductibles totally wrong, totally confused. When they hear there's like a 2% deductible, a lot of people think of it's wrong. They think, okay, we have a $100,000 claim. 2% deductible means I got to eat the first $2,000,
No, not the
and we
case.
get $98,000.
Right.
It does not work that
If
way.
only it was
Please
that easy.
Right. Please explain how the deductibles
Sure.
work.
On property insurance,
Right.
your hurricane deductible or windstorm deductible is always going to be a percentage of your building value determined by that appraisal. So it's the replacement value, not market value.
Okay.
So, if you have a $1 million building, a 3% deductible, it's 30 grand.
30 grand.
Yeah.
$10 million, $300,000 deductible.
Yeah.
So everybody got to understand that.
Yeah.
So the type of deductible that you get really is going to determine whether or not you could even put in a claim in the first place. You might
Exactly.
not even meet the deductible.
Sure.
So what type of deductibles are out there in the market? Where do they range from?
So 2% to 5% is kind of what we're seeing. We haven't seen 2% in a long time. That's maybe on the West Coast, Northern Florida, you can get a 2%. But in South Florida, 3 and 5, with 5 being the most common deductible you can see.
And the obvious is if you want a policy with a 5% deductible, it's going to cost less than a 3% deductible policy.
And also remember, if the company that you're with doesn't offer a 3% or a 2%, you can actually buy what's called a wind buyback.
A buyback policy.
So you can buy it usually from Lloyd's of London. They'll sell you one where you can buy it from a 5 to a 3%.
Oh, that's great to know. That's
Or a
really
2%.
great to know.
I have an account that buys it to a 1%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
All right.
expensive.
Who do we got left, Rob?
Yeah, Mary, looks like Weston Beach, or West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach.
Mary in West Palm.
Yes, good morning.
Good-
I wanted to know who determines the value of replacement on the buildings.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's an independent appraiser that's licensed in Florida. So it's independent, not the insurance company, not you, not me. It's you hire anybody you want that's a licensed appraiser, and they will do that for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Hey, Greg, thank you so much.
Thank
You've been,
you.
you've been
My
so
pleasure.
helpful to the
Yeah.
viewers
Big
of this
time.
show.
I
Really
learned
Happy to
appreciate
be here
it.
anytime.
Me too.
I
I
did.
always do.
I did. Thank
Always
you.
learn from your dad.
Yeah.
Now learning from you. It's
It's
great
amazing.
to see.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Rob, do me a favor. Please put up the information how our listeners and our viewers can get in touch with Gregory, like
It's
you
also
always
in the
do.
chat too.
Yeah, great.
Yep.
Thank you again.
My pleasure.
All right. And that brings us to the end of another show. If you need legal help during the week, off the air, give Glazer and Sachs a call. 954-983-1112. Greg, I want to thank you. I want to thank the
you.
Short Partners for being such a long-time sponsor of this show. This show does not happen without someone like Greg. Believe me, it does not. And we will see you all again next week, Sunday at 11 a.m. on Condo Craze and HOAs. Everybody have a wonderful, healthy, safe week.
Thank you.